Welcome to ULABA USA. This is Question Mark. And in this video I'd like to review the pressure limit settings for the Presto units. All Presto systems incorporate pressure control. There is a sensor right before the fluid outlet on the back of the system. So this enables you to control the pressure of the fluid circuit for pressure sensitive applications. This is particularly important for glass reactors. Normally their jackets have a pressure limit of about 7 to 8 psi. So you want to make sure that the jacket pressure never exceeds that, so you can avoid any breakage of either the outer or the inner wall of the glass reactor. So let's take a look at some of the parameters for pressure control on the Presto user interface. As you can see on the front screen, we have a pressure set point and the actual pressure display here. But before you go and adjust the pressure for when the system is operating, it's important to adjust some of the limit values that are incorporated into the safety features of the Presto. So to access those, simply go to the menu screen, adjust safety and pressure limits. So here you have a variety of options, including the max pump stage. The unit can operate in a stage mode, which is different speeds, 1, 2, 3, or 4, with stage 4 being the fastest. Then you have a lower warning limit of 0 psi. It's helpful then to review the operating manual for the user interface on page 51, where this handy chart illustrates these different values. Right? So the pressure lower warning limit in the graph is E. So that would give you a warning on the screen if the pressure were to go below that value. Normally we recommend that this be set to 0 psi or 0 bar because if you have a big pressure drop in your system, for example, and the pressure goes below that all the time, you're going to continually have this warning appear on the screen, and it can be a little bit cumbersome. Then looking at the graph, we have A, which is your peak pressure limit. This is the absolute maximum that you want the pressure to go to. So let's make this 10 instead of 11.8. Then B is the pressure limit. So that has to be lower than your peak pressure limit. So 8.7 is fine. Then we have an upper warning limit, which needs to be lower than the pressure limit. 7.98, that's fine in this case. And then you have your maximum pressure set point, which could be lowered. We don't want this glass reactor potentially to go up to 32 psi. So let's say that's just 15 in this case. Okay. So again, refer to the graph in the manual because it gives you a better indication of what these values are from a visual perspective. All right, so now if we go back to the home screen and then menu, determine thermodynamics, adjust the pump. We're in pressure control. Here's where you can manually set your pressure set point. So 7.25 psi for a glass reactor is a good value. It maximizes the fluid turnover, meaning you have a good flow rate through the reactor itself, and it's less than the pressure max of the jacket itself. Keep in mind that if you have a longer piece of tubing, the value that the Presto reads from its pump outlet is going to be lower than the pressure in the jacket itself due to the pressure drop in the tubing. Okay, so once you have those values set, then if we turn the unit on, let's say we want to go to minus 40, we hit start, the system's going to turn on. You'll see our pressure set point of 7.25 psi here, and then as the pump engages, you will see the actual pressure value of the sensor. For applications that have a long fluid plumbing line, if you actually wanted to measure the pressure at a different point in the flow circuit, we do have inline pressure sensor accessories available. So for example, if you had a really long plumbing line on a jacketed reactor, we could have that inline pressure sensor installed right at the fluid inlet, the bottom of the reactor, control and monitor from that point, and that would eliminate any pressure drop then in the tubing that you might have. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us online or give us a call.